19 goals, 29 matches, 6 World Cups, 38 years old. These numbers belong to one man, and they should be impossible meanwhile. A 41-year-old who has spent his entire career chasing one trophy he's never held. This is their 6th World Cup, both of them together. And for both of them, it is almost certainly their last. So who wins it? Who writes the final chapter? The answer might be the most important moment in football history. Let's start with a number that shouldn't exist in football. In 2026, Lionel Messi scored his first ever World Cup hat trick against Algeria. In the first game of the tournament, he is 38 years old. That hat trick made him the oldest player to score 3 goals in a single World Cup match in the entire 96-year history of the competition. He broke that record at 38. And then, almost immediately, Cristiano Ronaldo did something nobody had ever done either. He became the first player in football history to score at 6 different World Cups. 6. From 2006 all the way to 2026. 20 years of World Cup goals. The numbers these two men are posting in 2026 and at their ages have genuinely never happened before in football, and yet here they both are, in North America, in what is almost certainly the final chapter. To understand why 2026 is different, you need to understand what the last 20 years looked like for both of them. Messi's World Cup story is one of the most dramatic in sports history. He debuted at 18 years old in Germany 2006. Brilliant, but eliminated in the quarterfinals. Then South Africa 2010, eliminated again. Then Brazil 2014. He reached the final and lost in extra time to Germany. He cried on the pitch alone. He retired from international football, then unretired, then won the Copa America in 2021, and then, in Qatar 2022, after 16 years of trying, he finally lifted the World Cup. His greatest moment, his defining moment, the moment everyone in football had been waiting for. So why is he back in 2026? Because for Messi, this isn't about proving anything. It's about love for the game. And possibly writing an even more impossible story. Ronaldo's World Cup story is different. It is one of heartbreak and hunger. Portugal reached the semifinals in 2006 in his first major tournament. And in every World Cup since, he has scored, performed, and fought. But the trophy has never come. At 41 years old in 2026, Cristiano Ronaldo is not here because he needs to be. He is here because he refuses to leave without that one thing he has never had. A World Cup trophy. That is the only hole in the most decorated individual football career in history. So, how are they performing right now in 2026? Because this is where it gets genuinely unbelievable. Messi has scored 19 goals, World Cup goals in his career, and maybe scores more, breaking Miroslav Klose's record that stood for 12 years. He's played 29 matches across 6 World Cups, more than any player in history. His performance against Algeria and Austria earned him a perfect 10 rating from stats sites. A perfect 10 at 38. He has scored more World Cup goals after turning 35, 9 goals, than Maradona, Rivaldo, Thierry Henry, Neymar, Harry Kane, and Cristiano Ronaldo, scored in their entire World Cup careers combined. Ronaldo, on the other hand, scored twice against Uzbekistan in a 5-0 win at 41 years old. He became the oldest player to score a brace in World Cup history, breaking a record set by Messi earlier in the same tournament. These two men are, at 38 and 41, still setting records at the World Cup that no one else has come close to. The gap between the youngest player in the Portugal match against Uzbekistan and Ronaldo was 22 years and 183 days, the biggest age gap between two starting players in World Cup history. He is older than some players' fathers, and he is still scoring at the World Cup. Here's the question the entire football world is arguing about right now. Who actually won the Messi versus Ronaldo rivalry? The answer depends entirely on what you value. If you value the World Cup, Messi wins 1-0. There is no debate. The World Cup is the pinnacle of football, and Messi has it. Ronaldo does not. If you value club success, it's closer. 5 Champions Leagues for Ronaldo, 4 for Messi. Both dominated domestic football across 2 decades. If you value raw statistics, Ronaldo leads in international goals with 145 for Portugal. Messi has 109 for Argentina, but Messi leads in World Cup goals, 19-7, significantly. If you value the question of who made their team better, every analyst, every data model, every football academic agrees Messi's contribution to Argentina is historically unique. He doesn't just score, he creates a reality in which his teammates become better versions of themselves around him. But here's the thing, and this is what makes the 2026 World Cup genuinely historic. The rivalry is not over. Ronaldo is still here, still scoring, still competing, and the bracket in 2026 means they could face each other. Argentina and Portugal, Messi versus Ronaldo, at a World Cup in the knockout rounds, possibly for the last time ever. So, who is actually going to win the 2026 World Cup? Let's be real about this. For Argentina and Messi, the path is hard but possible. Argentina won every group game. Messi is in the form of his life, or rather, a form that shouldn't exist at 38. But the competition is the deepest in World Cup history with 48 teams, and France, Brazil, Spain, and England are all dangerous. The threat to Argentina isn't fatigue. It's the fact that Messi at 38 will eventually reach a game where his body simply says, "Not today." International knockout football is unforgiving, and Kylian Mbappé, debut, who is already matching Messi's 2026 goal tally, is only 27, running at defenders at full speed, and is arguably the most complete player in the world right now. For Portugal and Ronaldo, the honest answer is harder. Portugal are a good team, not a great one. The results in 2026 have been inconsistent, and for all his brilliance, Ronaldo is 41. The physical demands of knockout football at this level are extreme. But here's the scenario that would break the internet and probably the world. What if Ronaldo leads Portugal to the final? What if his impossible, stubborn, refusing to stop mentality carries them all the way? And in that final, what if they meet Argentina? Messi versus Ronaldo, World Cup Final 2026. Has there ever been a more dramatic ending to the greatest sporting rivalry in history? Here's what I want you to think about for a moment. Two men, 38 and 41 years old, at their 6th World Cup, still breaking records, still performing at the highest level in the sport they've dominated for 20 years. Regardless of who wins 2026, what these two men have done for football is simply unprecedented. They came into the game at the same time. They pushed each other to heights that nobody in football history had ever reached. And they are still at the World Cup together, competing at the top level. When Messi retires, there will never be another Messi. When Ronaldo retires, there will never be another Ronaldo. What we are watching right now in 2026 is the last time we will ever see both of them at a World Cup at the same time. Whether you're a Messi fan or a Ronaldo fan, I want you to stop and appreciate this moment. Because in 10 years, people will ask, where were you when they played their last World Cup? And you'll say, watching. So I have one question for you, and I genuinely want to know your answer. Who do you want to win the 2026 World Cup, Messi or Ronaldo? Not who you think will win. Who do you want to win? Drop it in the comments right now. Team Messi or Team Ronaldo? And tell me why. I read every single one. If this video made you feel something, or if you learned something you didn't know before, subscribe to YTFlicksy. Because on this channel, every story is worth telling. I'm Flixy, and I'll see you in the next one.